They say the worst Hesh can say is no. What's the worst rejection you ever got? Ignoring me or going Iowa? I handled both. However, completely ignoring that someone spoke to you was a tough one tbh. Worst I've ever given is do we know each other? Dated a girl for 2 years, was thinking about bringing up the conversation of marriage and kids, you know, spend the rest of my life with her type of stuff. Well, the week I was going to do this, she left me for a coworker. It's okay though, because she told me I'm a great guy and to always be myself. Waste of my time. My partner ghosted me for 3 months when I was in hospital for seizures because they were too much for him. They were a new diagnosis. I haven't had one since getting out of the stressful relationship. Rejections can be blessings. I once asked a girl over to my house a few weeks after I went to hers. We clicked well. On the day of I cleaned up my place, spent the better part of the day in the kitchen preparing a 4-course meal with a nice bottle of wine and snack for afterwards. I put on my best suit and cologne. Time went by and haven't heard from her, so I thought she was running late. However, to my surprise, she posted on Facebook a photo of herself at home saying a nice night in. I was pissed. I called her up and confronted her about this, and she just laughed and said in a sarcastic voice, "Yeah, don't really feel like it, totaluo." I was absolutely devastated. It's because of that experience I have lost all faith in women. I arranged to meet someone from a mobile dating service. We hadn't swapped photos beforehand. The woman was absolutely horrified when she saw me. She was shaking her head in despair and looked away, and she said I was not what she was expecting. It was humiliating, and I must be extremely ugly to get that response. Not being told no directly, being breadcrumbed for weeks. Then finally being hit with if you looked like your personality you would be the perfect man. Once asked a girl out over text and ended with if you'd be interested. She replied saying just, what exactly should I be interested in? Ouch. I mean the standard at this point is you or definitely not. Get lost for me, not in America though, but my experience. The last person I saw really got to me. Met her at a party, we really got along. Gave me her number and we organized a date for a few nights later. Went out, had an amazing time. She ended up staying over, and the next morning she kissed me, said she really liked me and let's do this again. I was over the moon, smiling, excited about what was happening. A day later she stops replying to texts and goes silent for almost a week. Then I get a message, sorry. You're really great, but I'm just out of a relationship and I'm not ready to date anyone. Wish you all the best, and all my love acts. The hell? I've been told to kill myself on multiple occasions just because I asked girls out. Like word for word, all I said was, hey, do you want to go out sometime? They weren't smiling, they weren't mad, it was completely deadpan. No idea how that reaction was warranted on multiple occasions between multiple different people. Her gay friend gave me the news. She doesn't want to be with you, she thinks you're weird, creepy and ugly. A guy I used to hang out with got a woman's number. Except it wasn't the woman's number. It was that of a random 15-year-old who was flirting with him for shits and giggles and leading him on as to her age. Eventually her mum caught onto the fact she was flirting with a guy in his mid-30s and called my old mate and went fucking nuts, calling him all sorts of expletives and threatened to get the cops involved. Women, just say no if you aren't interested. Especially if the guy asks for your number respectfully like my old mate. And guys, if you get a woman's number, make sure you call it first at the time to check for fake numbers. Not a rejection, but one person came up to me and this person was hanging with I kind of liked at that time, but I wasn't deep into it. We hung out a lot so some assumed we were together. They said if we were together and she gave out the most disrespectful no I ever heard. My soul was hurtin' the rest of the day lol. Got laughed at once in high school when I asked a girl out. I just kind of blinked and walked away. Ended up telling a friend of mine, who must have blabbed because she ran up at lunch, gave me a hug, and said she thought I was joking. That was the worst rejection. I could accept her being mean without batting an eye, that's a reflection of her, not me. But her genuinely thinking it was funny that I asked her out? Oof. Right in the feels. She said, I like what you saying and I think you look good, but nigga look at yo old ass phone. She shook her head and laughed, walking off. Needless to say, I got a new phone on my next paycheck. I don't get the concept of rejection. Y'all always have that one girl who says no. Even if you are otherwise normal and attractive, it's inherently meaningless. Unless you are grotesque and repulsive. Girls reject sometimes on a whim. You could return like a month later and they may change their mind. You can call me Yua, but if you're a retail worker splitting the rent, no education while giving men a hard time, I'm not the helpless one in that situation. The worst I was told was it's best not to waste time on dating me. Or my personal favorite being called a pig and stalker when I barely even know the person. It's why I didn't approach women anymore after the bullying. I live in great fear of girls badly. FA partner dumped me over text. We are in our late 30s. She played my kids, I played with hers, cooked dinner for her family multiple times, etc. Truly broke my heart. I consider this as a rejection because after waiting for so many years for him, then we had a mutual understanding, or situationship as we call it nowadays, but in the end, he didn't choose me or fight for me because he thought I wasn't 100 willing to convert to his religion. It's just said that because of religion, you can be rejected or discriminated against. He said to me that my friend is way more beautiful than me,